What is up, everybody? Welcome to our Super Bowl review show. Eagles Super Bowl 59 champions. We were just talking about it before going live. It still doesn't feel real. We're going to be talking biggest winners, top takeaways, and we're going to have some fun and celebrate this one, breaking down our postseason awards with a lot of different categories. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Dude, you're right. It doesn't feel real, but I called it. 20-point victory. I love it. I was so damn confident. Meanwhile, everybody I watched the game with was a nervous wreck. I had people in the corner, like, shaking, sucking their thumbs, like worrying before the game even started. And I'm like, we got this. Like, don't worry about it. Like, this, there was not a second where I wasn't confident in that we would whoop their ass. And we did. And
there was a moment, it was before the Cooper DeJean pick six, and we'll get into all of this. But there was a moment like in the second quarter where you started to see signs of Patrick Mahomes get shook and rattled. And that, I remember I said this on the postgame show. Like I looked at Nicole and I was like, it's happening. Like this is really happening. Also joining us, Rob Langy at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
Oh man, this is amazing. This just is a true amazing feeling to not only win the Super Bowl, but to decimate not just any team. It's not like the 85 Bears decimating Tony Eason's New England Patriots. You decimated a dynasty. You decimated Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, and all we were told for 2 weeks were, how do you bet against these guys? These guys always come up with something. Well, it was early in the game, and you looked at all three of their faces, and they looked like, oh, shit. They looked like, oh, shit. And the Eagles, man, that was so much fun. I got to the point where for 2 weeks I said 34-20 as the final. I said 34-20. That's what this is going to be. It's 34-20. And I got so confident that about 3 hours before the game, I had myself sick with nerves because I'm never that confident. And that gave me nerves. It wasn't the game. It was me. I gave myself the nerves. So I'm thrilled.
Sorry,
I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into top takeaways, we're going to play this video because this is a celebration show. Let's enjoy this.
This team's not a Super Bowl team.
A Super Bowl team? I don't know that they're – I think even that statement might be overrating them.
For the second time, the Vince Lombardi Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
I don't know that they're a playoff team.
What's he got left? Pressure again. Dak, ball is out, and the Eagles have it. Doesn't suspect anything.
Look at that face.
Last year, across the board, they had a bottom five defense. This year, across the board, they have a bottom five defense.
Pressure. Daniels. Sacked. Nolan Smith. 3rd and 2. Stafford in trouble. He's sacked. Brought down by Jalen Carter. 4-man rush over the middle. It's intercepted again.
They liked their draft picks, but rookies don't typically instantly help you in the secondary.
Looking, firing, intercepted. Picked up by Cooper DeJean. Gets a block. DeJean is now getting a big roll. Daniels going deep to the end zone. Is it picked? It is intercepted by Quinyon Mitchell.
I had to listen to people be like, oh man, you guys let the Eagles get Jahan Dotson. Unfortunately for those folks, I've watched Jahan Dotson's career, and there's a reason he was available for a 3rd-round pick.
Looking, throw it, end zone, caught for the touchdown. Coming, it's picked up. Hurts going deep, has a man. It is caught. Dotson down there.
I think Philadelphia is who they've been screaming to us they have been for 10 games of football. which is not a very good team.
All right. Suck it, Nick Wright. Suck it.
Yeah, seriously.
That's fantastic, man.
Shove it up your friggin' ass.
Let's get to top takeaways. All right, our first segment of the night. Rob, are you back?
I don't know. I'm kind of here. Nothing's working. I can't even hear you. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Rob, you might want to take off.
I might have to get out and get back in again. Jesus Christ.
All right, man. Restart, reboot, or something like that.
What in the frig is going on?
Is it plugged in?
This is.
Yeah,
oh my God. I can't hear you. You.
All right, I'm kicking him. We have Pump Man in the house. We were talking about you, Pump Man, in the post game show. Respect for you showing up. Thanks for joining.
My apologies on the post game.
That was so funny. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, dude, that makes two of us. I don't know what the hell happened to man.
All right, let's get into our top takeaways from the game. I think I'll lead us off, I guess. I think this is not only the greatest Eagles team of all time, but the conversation begins with, is this one of the best teams in the history of the NFL? They're that good. I think we witnessed one of, if not the most dominant postseason run in NFL history, top to bottom. The organization built on selflessness, built on excellence around a ridiculously fierce core of grit and accountability. What's up, Sixers? You might learn a few things. Looking at the roster, best O-line and D-line in the NFL. They bulldozed through their opponents all postseason long. A coached-up linebacking core that emerged as a game-changing unit all season long, a rebuilt, shutdown secondary with ride-or-die vets mentoring rookie phenoms. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are future superstars, and that's not an exaggeration. What is an exaggeration is the word future. They might already be superstars. You have receivers that would probably have a starting job on any other team they landed on. I'm talking about you, Jahan Dotson, a running back with the best running back season of all time that fits the team like a glove. It wasn't just the explosive plays from Saquon Barkley that I'll remember going forward. It's the countless blitz pickups in pass pro. It's the follow the leader moments of Saquon leading Jalen Hurts into the end zone constantly. You have a quarterback that is the most overlooked and criticized leader in the NFL today. Off the field, the chemistry was straight up off the charts. This team plays for each other. They give their all for each other. They lift each other up all the time. They have a cohesion that comes from purpose, chemistry that comes from brotherhood, led by a coach that I kind of was way too critical on. And, you know, the players here have completely bought into what truly makes a team great. I think we witnessed a perfect storm of togetherness, a perfect storm of talent. Both sides of the ball, we know, are absolutely loaded with talent across nearly every position. But my gosh, the 3 losses we saw showed that the only way to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in 2024 was to either hope they can make a ridiculous amount of mistakes, which we saw against Atlanta, or hope injuries keep their best players out of the game, which we saw against Tampa and Washington. The Eagles did not look back after the bye. Major shout out to Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. This one's for you. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. You know, everybody saying that this was kind of the revenge tour to get redemption for 2 years ago, and it's partly correct. I know a lot of the players that were on the team just 2 years ago certainly felt like there was a missed opportunity. A lot of people have been saying the whole, hey, if we had an actual field to play on, that defensive line was wreaking havoc on that offensive line that day. And listen, that might be right, but this team was wanting redemption. And I heard a story that I think the final nail on the coffin that was the Chiefs, and gave that extra motivation to absolutely put their foot on the throat of the Chiefs, was when the word got out that the Chiefs were reaching out to Pat Riley on the trademark for the three-peat, and how they were all but assured of a victory in this game. And that did something to them. Not that they needed the extra motivation, but it was the final thing. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw a team that wasn't going to let even a sliver of hope enter into the Chiefs. I mean, they the first 5 minutes. After that, it was all Eagles, and it was just Mahomes. I have never seen Patrick Mahomes look so rattled, so lost, so just frustrated and confused, and didn't know what to do. That defense was astonishing. They didn't blitz one freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't blitz one time, and they got to him all night. I mean, and that's the reason why we have the Coupe de Jean pick six. That's the reason why we have the Zach Bond diving interception. That's the reason why Mahomes fumbled the ball and Milton Williams got the strip sack and the recovery. I mean, this defense was magical. And I personally am going on my own revenge tour from here on out. And it's for every single person that doubted this team in any way. That it was anybody that didn't think the Eagles could do it, didn't think Nick Sirianni was the guy. And there's a lot of people on that bus. And wanted him gone after last year. Wanted him gone after the bye. I mean, it's unbelievable the lack of faith and patience that even exists in our own fan base. But that Jalen Hurts wasn't the guy. That Jalen Hurts, not a top 10 guy, and maybe not even top 15. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Because he's celebrating in friggin' Disney right now as world champion, Super Bowl MVP. So I am going to make sure that I reach out and address everybody that I can that I know that doubted this team. And I wanted an apology. Not for me, but for them. Because those two, especially those two, and the whole damn team deserves it. So that's what I'm working on. But other than that, I'm loving life. I'm celebrating. This was the absolute most perfect scenario that could have happened. And yeah, I was I think 2 points off of my original prediction on the score. So I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, it's fantastic. What's up, Krabby? Thanks for joining. Just circling back to the defense, and we'll get into biggest winners in a second. But what was so impressive with the defense was they didn't do anything different than we saw in weeks past. Rob, can you hear us?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. My computer is acting like Patrick Mahomes and being a big baby.
What was really impressive was that the Eagles defense didn't really change much. It was just a pound for pound. We're better than you in every single facet of this game, and we're going to win every single one-on-one matchup. They double teamed Jalen Carter with Creed Humphrey and every single one of those other guys on that D line.
Yeah.
Jalen Hunt, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. They were dominant. That was the best I've seen. Josh Sweat's best game of his career. Yeah. Milton Williams and Josh Sweat made a ton of money last night. But let's get into our biggest winners of the game as Rob heads out. He's having a Chiefs offense type of performance tonight. So let's roll into the biggest winners. No, wait. Let's get to our top plays. Let's get to our top plays from the night. What was your favorite play?
Man, that's tough. But I think I think it ended up being the Coupe de Jean interception return for a touchdown. Not only just because, the man gets an interception, his first career interception on his birthday, on the Super Bowl. We had manifest this frickin' all year, honestly. I mean, how many times? It was like it was the running joke, Oh, this is the week. Quignon's going to get it. Oh, no, wait, now Coop's going to get it. Whoever. That was, and it finally happened. And the fact of the matter is he did it on the world's biggest stage. And what that interception meant. Because right then and there, the score was only 10-0. It was still very early. It was still anybody's game. Mahomes is just starting to drive. It certainly could have went a completely different direction had the Chiefs went down and scored. But the 14-point potential swing, he gets in the end zone. It's 17-0, and it just broke. That was the first major break in the spirit of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And that to me was the biggest pendulum swing in this game. That if had not happened, things certainly could have went a different direction.
Yeah. That would also be my number one play of the night. Mm-hmm. That was the backbreaker. After that, it was game over for the Chiefs. What about you, Rob? Did you have a favorite play?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely my number one. But if I had a number two, scores 27-0. That Kansas City goes for it on 4th and 3. Avonte Maddox makes a play out of nowhere, which is crazy.
That was the best. We were all like, Avonte!
Yeah, I think I almost texted both of you like, holy shit, that guy just made a play. But it wasn't that. It was as they come back, I'm sitting there with my cousin, and my cousin says, all right, let's run some clock. I said, screw it. He said, what do you mean? I said, this is during the commercial. I said, play action bomb. I want to play action bomb. I want to put this game away right here, right now. And wouldn't you know it, big balls, Kellen and Nick dial it up, and Devontae blows past the dude, and Jalen just drops a dime in the bucket. And bam, it was like, yes, up at 27-0, you felt like it was probably over. But that was my jubilation moment. When that happened, I was finally ready to say out loud, ball game, Super Bowl champs. It was that. I mean, you're right. Like on the pick six, if you look back, that was when the game ended. But as a fan, as someone who's nervous about everything,
as an Eagles fan,
yes, it wasn't until this play, and it was so like storybook because it was like, this is it. You ain't coming back. There's not enough possessions left in this game, Patty. The game is over.
Yeah.
And it's none other than Louisiana's own Devontae Smith making that catch.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That was definitely one of my favorite plays there. And you're right. I think everybody kind of had, again, we're Eagles fans, we're Philly fans. We have been here before. We know not to get ahead of ourselves. And that's all anybody was doing, was going, I want to be real happy. I want to say game over, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get there because I know better. And
when it was 40-6,
saying, 28-3. New England and Atlanta, 28-3. You know, don't do anything. Don't say anything. Shut up. Don't curse it. Don't jinx it. And that was 100% the moment after we all jumped around and dove on each other. After we all got up, we all looked at each other. The people I was with, and we all just knew. We just knew. That
when
was
when it was 40-6. My cousin goes, "There's something wrong with me." I said, "Why?" He went, "Because I'm sitting here doing the math to see how many scores Kansas City would need." It's like 4 minutes left. I said, "Tom, even I know there's no chance of that happening now, brother. We're good. We are in the clear. We are in the clear."
I'm going to go. Those are two great ones. I'm going to go. There's the other two I think worth mentioning here. One is the Zach Bond interception.
Yeah.
Such a great play.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, when have we had a linebacker do something like this?
They have to pay him, right? Like, there can't be any question whatsoever. They have to give him the money.
I think it's not only that, but I think it's such a mutual interest on both sides of this deal to get it done. His interview better than to go anywhere else.
His interview after the game with Sal Paolantonio was great. He just said "dog" 57 times. Every name that Sal Paolantonio brought, he was like "dog, dog, dog." It was so good.
If I did, I would put up Josh Sweat's sacks. I mean, he had a career game. He was.
It was one game off with Josh Sweat. I said he was getting 2 sacks in the NFC Championship. I was just a game off.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. Sweat and Milton Williams went out with a bang.
Yeah,
plain and simple. They went out with a bang.
I have to say, honorable mention was Jalen Carter punching Patrick Mahomes in the face on that fumble and not getting called for it. And I truly believe he didn't get called for it because he was literally being put into into a headlock, into the sleeper hold at the same time that he punched him in the face. But that was Rex Ryan, who I hate, but he made it. It was pretty funny this morning. He said, to beat the champ, you got to knock him out. Well, Jalen Carter knocked him out. That was it. It was fantastic.
It's awesome. It's just awesome. I wondered about that slap. All right. Let's get into, I think we're on winners, right? Was that next?
No, I was going for 20 minutes.
No. The next one is, where does Jalen Hurts rank among all-time Eagles quarterbacks? I have some stats for you guys of Jalen Hurts. Give me a moment. Ready?
While you look up said.
Yeah, me and Ryan may be on the right page, same page here.
Yeah, listen. I am not mixing words. I am 1,000% confident in saying this. That right here, Jalen Hurts is the best Eagles quarterback in our history. Plain and simple.
There it is.
Rob, rebuttal?
Go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say, my rebuttal is 4 playoff appearances and 4 seasons as a starter, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win. He's doing things that only guys such as Joe Montana and some of the greats have done.
Very good.
He was the first quarterback since Jim Kelly to lose a Super Bowl and get back to another one. And then he was the first one to win that since, Brian Greasy or Bob Greasy? I mean, this guy, look, you could give me every stat in the book.
It's wild, man.
But Ike Reese said something, and it's an awesome term, and that's why I want to give him credit. He called him an elite winner. Yeah. That's who Jalen is. He's an elite winner, and these 4 years he has gotten this team to the playoffs and had 2 Super Bowl appearances, and in both Super Bowls, outdueled the unanimous best quarterback in the National Football League. He outthrew him twice. And so for that reason and that reason alone, I don't know how you could go against Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Everybody loves Nick Foles for what he did. He gave us the first one, and that's awesome. But let's put him correctly in his place. He was a backup quarterback for a reason. He caught fire. He did his thing. Obviously, Randall, everybody, around our age grew up on Randall, and there's a special place that we have in our hearts for Randall. But let's not mix words with Randall. Randall didn't have playoff success. Same with Buddy Ryan. Didn't have playoff success. But yet we hold those two up on this grand pedestal. But yet Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, all they do is go to the playoffs. And all they have done is go to 2 Super Bowls, was mere, maybe a minute away from potentially winning 2 Super Bowls at this point, where Jalen Hurts would be 2-time Super Bowl MVP. And yet they don't even get a modicum of the respect and the reverence that those two get. And it's time that we need to put Sirianni and Hurts atop that list.
Well, here's the problem with Sirianni. Here's your issue why Sirianni is going to come in number 2.
Oh, well, that's fine for right now, and I get that.
And that's because of the Andy Reid and this whole what we're living now as Eagles fans started because of Andy Reid and what he put into place. But you're right, Rye. The receipts have been kept, and I'm telling you right now, and I loved seeing some of the national media eat crow today. I apologize because Nick Sirianni was called a clown. Jalen Hurts was called a guy who can only do one thing.
Yep.
And they both now are now in record books with the best at what they do, right?
Yeah.
You look at Nick Sirianni, he's one of 3 coaches with a 700 winning percentage in a Super Bowl championship in his first 4 seasons. The other 2, Vince Lombardi,
pretty good.
John Madden.
Yeah, pretty good too.
I mean, you at some point you got to stop just trying to fill your narrative and be real with yourself.
That's what's exciting about all of this is the narratives are done. They're done. It's done. It's over. Nobody can talk shit anymore.
No.
On
Nick's got a new contract. Jalen's your starting quarterback. There's no question about either of those things. These guys are here now. And once again, what did you hear all these guys saying in their post-game press conferences? You can't be great without the greatness of others. They are just quoting their coach. They love their coach. You saw that, right? AJ and Nick getting a little squabble the game. And what happens? Who's one of the first ones to grab the Gatorade to get him?
Yeah,
AJ.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Did you see that scene though where it was I forget exactly what point, but where AJ was on the bench.
Oh, it was awesome.
There was a couple of them huddled around and they had the book out and they knew they were on camera. They were going through it and they were just having a good time. And Sirianni comes walking up and he's like, "What's going on?" And then they all just start bursting out laughing. That just shows you this team. It's like they just get each other. And then they just have the respect professionally and personally for each other that just makes all this work. And again, Rob and Dives, you've been saying it that they're not going to have anything to say. Well, people are still going to say something. Idiots like Chris Sim and Nick Wright still are employed. So those idiots are going to continue to say things, but nobody's going to be listening to them anymore.
Dude, nobody's
going to be listening to them anymore because they emptied the credibility went out the window.
They emptied the entire bucket on him. They didn't miss a drop. They got him. I haven't seen a Gatorade bath that well done in so long.
It was so good it put its hoodie on it.
Yeah. It's just and you know what the other thing that I thought was interesting in this game was after the game, I heard 4 or 5 guys say, "We've been telling each other all week this game wasn't going to be close." He said, "Look, when we came out to the media, we said what needed to be said, but behind closed doors, we knew that we could blow them out." And they were, man, Holy hell. I still can't believe it went down the way it did.
Yeah. Crabby says, for the record, I hated Randall and McNabb. Love Foles, but he's not Hurts. I knew Cunningham and Buddy, the clown, Ryan were never going to win anything. After the second go-round with McNabb, I knew he and Reed weren't either. Last seriously good quarterback was Sonny.
God damn, dude.
I cried when Buddy got fired.
I'd put Jaws above Randall McNabb, and
First
they
grade.
knocked his head
I
headset
wouldn't.
off. Plus forces. Some more crazy Jalen Hurts stats.
Yeah.
Only 5 quarterbacks in history have had. Hurts has now 5 career postseason games of completing 70% of his passes. Only 5 quarterbacks in history have had more. Mahomes, Troy Aikman, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts owns 6 of the 15 highest passer ratings in Eagles playoff history. Most total touchdowns in a quarterback's first 2 Super Bowl starts with 7. 6th player all time with 3+ total touchdowns in multiple Super Bowls. The list goes on. He's the first quarterback to take down Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, not named Joe Burrow or Tom Brady. And Mahomes was 15-0 against quarterbacks not named Joe Burrow or Tom Brady. Yeah. He's in elite tier, and that was a big question.
There was even another stat that I can't remember what it was, but it's only him and Joe Montana. It's only Joe Montana and Jalen Hurts. Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about being elite winner. That's an elite winner. And I'm going to tell the rest of the freaking national media and everybody else, if you want to talk about the greatness of Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all these guys, that's fine. But if you don't put Jalen Hurts in that category when he's the only one of those 4 that was able to do something like beat Pat Mahomes in the playoffs, you're missing the boat and you're letting statistics dictate instead of trusting your eyes and seeing what you're seeing.
Well, exactly. And that's ultimately the downfall of national media pundits is they don't. And you never truly can trust whether or not they're being told what to say. And if they are being allowed to say what they want, their local biases get in the way. And so that's why I don't care what any of them say. You're right. But Buddy certainly was not the greatest of coaches. He had one of the best teams. He was a lovable figure, Buddy. And he had one of the best teams, but he did nothing with it. But listen, the simple fact of the matter is, I think in 5 Super Bowls, Patty Mahomes has 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Hurts already has 7 and 2.
That's crazy.
So that's all I'm saying is everybody wants to anoint Patrick Mahomes as the greatest Super Bowl champion in the world, but when it comes to it, he's really not that great in the Super Bowls. Just saying. And Jalen Hurts clearly is.
Let's get to winners, player of the game. Ryan, lead us off, man.
We're all winners.
Yes.
The fans.
We're fans. The city of brotherly love. It didn't officially burn to the ground. They took a few light posts with them, and that's what I like to hear. Honestly, the winner here is this defense.
Yeah,
this defense didn't blitz one time, and they were able to wreak havoc all night. They have the youngest defense in the NFL. It's only going to get younger with a couple more draft picks and Brandon Graham sadly retiring, which we all assume is going to happen. The sky is the limit for this team. There are so many young and talented players on this team, offensively and defensively. And we also have the greatest GM in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And if you don't think that's true, come fight me. Plain and simple. Come fight me. I got Howie's back more than I got a lot of my friends' back. And that's just the way I am, because Howie's done right by me. I'll tell you that. Howie's done right by me. And the man is on a drafting heater.
He is.
He is absolutely on a drafting heater. So
Krabby, this will be the first Valentine's Day I actually appreciate ever. The commercial holiday that it is. The only money I'm spending is on Eagles merch. That's it.
Listen, my date is about 5 million people.
My date is the hopeful Jalen Carter jersey that I ordered prior to the Super Bowl with the patch on it when it gets here.
That's not coming.
Yeah.
Oh no, I ordered that too. It's already shipped, baby.
Good luck.
My
it'll be here.
Player of the game, biggest winner, like Ryan said.
All right, yeah. Wait,
Thank
sorry.
you.
I was supposed to actually do stuff. Sorry.
Vic Fangio has now entered
God
Jeff
status.
Stoutland tier. Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah.
Tier.
I was saying it all last night.
It's not just
both of them lifetime contracts.
In Jeff Stoutland we trust. It is also now in Vic Fangio we trust.
What a game plan.
Going forward.
What
Patrick Mahomes was not able to get set whatsoever all game long. They put him in a blender, sacked 6 times, forced a fumble, 2 interceptions. The defense was just ridiculous. They pressured him on nearly 50% of his dropbacks, and if you removed garbage time, it was actually 53% of his dropbacks. And like Ryan said, not a single blitz. His worst EPA per play in his career, and he's never faced a higher pressure rate. That was just a masterclass. I'm still shocked. And we don't talk about it enough, but Jalen Carter, I know he was double teamed a lot, but the impact he has with everyone else on that D line is just so ridiculous.
Those sacks were because of him. He kept collapsing the pocket from the middle so that when the edges got there and Mahomes stepped up, he had nowhere to go. I mean, it was a clinic. It was an absolute clinic.
Rob, who's your player of the game winner of the night?
So winner of the night to me is, and I'm going to give it to a guy who's not a player, not a coach. It's Howie Roseman because of look, you got to think about where this guy came from. Okay. And look, I was a big Howie hater. I was, but this guy was in a broom closet for a year. And instead of saying, screw this team, they don't want my services, he sat there, he reflected, he became better. And now has just built what Jeff Lurie said years ago was what he wanted, and that's the gold standard of the NFL. They are the best run organization, top to bottom, in the league. There is no question about that. And Howie Roseman plays a big role in that. As far as player of the game, I mean, Jesus, you could go defense, but look, going into this game, if you would have told me that Saquon would not have been able to get started, I would have told you the Eagles would have had a tough time. And they didn't. And the defense was a big part of that. But so was Jalen Hurts. And I know, yes, it's an easy pick, right? Because he wins the MVP. But this guy, the checks he's making at the line that I talked about last week, the throws he made down the field, taking off and running without even a second's thought. The one time when he breaks around the right side and it looks like the guy's got a great angle on him and he hits another gear to get up the sideline for 20 yards. He was incredible. He's an incredible leader. He's an incredible winner. And I am thrilled that we can put all the nonsense that, myself included, has spewed over the last year to the side and know that's our franchise quarterback, and him and our franchise leading head coach are good enough to win a goddamn Super Bowl.
As impressive as he was on the field, I was just blown away at the class I saw off the field. During the celebrations and just unbelievable character.
The picture of him sitting in the hallway smoking the cigar with the Lombardi Trophy between his legs is an iconic picture that I need on some sort of artwork that I can hang on my wall, because that might be my favorite. That to me is like the Jordan in the locker room pictures, the Kobe pictures in the locker room. Like, it was just an iconic picture that will be etched in my head forever.
Yeah.
Yep. Just amazing. Any other winners? I mean, Coupe DeJean, as we said many times, how he has completely transformed this defense is straight up remarkable. He's revolutionizing the nickel defender, a guy that can tackle like a linebacker, drop back like a corner. He's now PFF's highest graded cornerback in the NFL if you believe in any of that stuff. But it's just such an advantage. It's such a chess piece for this Eagles defense. Krabby, thank you for the donation,
Krabby,
man.
we love you, buddy. Thank you.
Mr. Oldman.
Too kind, man. We're not worthy.
We
If you have a question or anything, you're the only one in here.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, us starting at 7 really threw it off, man. I was expecting to get ridiculed today by Marshawn a little bit. I miss him. He's not here.
Well,
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'll come at us later on in the week some other way.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
He always does.
But Coop DeJean, I mean, guys like Jade Barron of Texas, another nickel defender, Mike Samerstill, like these guys are now going to be legitimate first-round picks going forward, where they kind of slid down a little bit due to positional value. So I think DeJean is just sensational, and it's just absurd that he was a second-round pick.
And what a good kid. What a great kid.
What a
Did you see him go up to Saquon saying, "Birthday party in New Orleans"?
The best was when they got on the ESPN set last night. They gave him a cake. Like Chris Berman had this whole cake for him, and he's giving him all these pieces. And like Coop, they were asking Coop a question, but he had put the mic down so he could eat the cake. Like somebody had to put a mic in his face because he was grubbing on that cake. He was grubbing on it.
That was funny.
And
they, I'm pretty sure it was Scott Van Pelt that asked him, like, "Hey, when you made that interception, when did you know that you had a shot at bringing it to the house?" And he goes, "The second I touched it."
Yeah. The best response to that, though, was then he said, "But then I got there and I didn't have a touchdown celebration lined up, so I just ran around like a big kid."
Yeah.
Did you see Saquon shotgun the beer in the locker room?
Yes.
That
was the fastest shotgun I've ever seen.
So that was my response.
Yeah,
and then I was like, well, he did go to Penn State. And
yeah, it was okay. I mean, I'd personally like to challenge him. That'd be all right.
Here we go. Jesus Christ. Everything becomes about Ryan Reese here. You know?
Just saying, I got only a few skills in this
give you a ring? Are you going to get a ring?
I only got a few skills in this light.
Only one of us has a Beer Olympics trophy, and it's not you.
Well, where is it? Where is it? I don't see it.
I don't know. Where's my trophy, Ryan? Because you lost, you didn't get me a trophy.
No, you got a medal.
Oh yeah, I did get a medal.
Hey Rob, I remember the Beer Olympics.
I do. They were a great time. I had so much fun, man. Thank you so much. It was a blast.
Hey, we're already planning. We're already planning the next one.
All right, well, you got to let me know now, damn it.
Could potentially, we got 2 dates, potentially May 31st, which is my birthday, or 2 weeks after that, June 14th.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Yeah, let's get to our postseason awards. Let's go to offensive player of the postseason. Ryan, who are you going with? No repeats.
Oh, wait. Postseason. Offensive MVP.
Yeah.
Today, Junior.
Listen, I still
Where the hell are you looking? Who's up there?
I don't know. I'll go Saquon. I'll give somebody else the other layup, but yeah, Saquon was just paramount in this Eagle team, and move not only winning each game, moving forward, but it was not necessarily what he did on the field at all times that was his impact. It was just the aura and the lure of just, oh no, like we better shut down Saquon, because other than that, like we're effed. And people hyper focused on him. He still got his, and that allowed the rest of the offense to open up and blossom. So I just think Saquon just was everything and more than we could have hoped for when we signed him in free agency.
In the postseason, Saquon had 21 forced missed tackles. He had 9 runs of 10 or more yards.
Insane.
And he averaged like 5.5 yards a carry. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And I love the game plan with him in the Super Bowl to get him the ball in the passing game a lot more.
Love
Yeah.
knowing
Six
that they were going to
That was
be
the highest mark of the season.
Yeah.
knowing that they were going to really buckle down on the run. I thought that was a great idea. Get him outside the tackle box on a couple of those throws. I thought it was really,
Oh,
really
that catch he had where he bobbled it and he fell backwards. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my good Lord, how did that even happen?
And I love that we never abandoned the run in the second half.
Nope.
It wasn't working, but it set up the pass. It set up
Yeah.
the deep looks, those one-on-ones.
Kept
That was
doing it.
clear. Like they wanted to take out Saquon and eliminate the explosive plays, and that's where Jalen Hurts did his thing. So
Yeah.
major shout out to Saquon. Like Ryan said, gravity he has on offense, just it's truly special, man. Just truly special. Rob.
Yeah, look, after the Rams game, everybody said, listen, they're not going to win if Jalen Hurts keeps playing this way, and it's Jalen Hurts is this, and Jalen Hurts is that, and Jalen Hurts can't do this, and Jalen Hurts can't do that. He then proceeded to have his two best games of the season in the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, which obviously are the two biggest games of the year. He dominated the line of scrimmage, number one. This guy got up to the line of scrimmage. He knew when to make good checks. They seemed to work out every time he did it, including his little gunshot to AJ before he went back shoulder to him in the Super Bowl. That's number one. Number two, yes, he threw a pick against the blitz last night. However, every other time they blitzed, he beat them, and he beat them good. He went through his progressions. He got Jahan Dotson involved last night. All this guy, the Eagles are not here without Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are, and it's you could say the same about Saquon Barkley, but the Eagles are not here without Jalen Hurts, and it is time to give him his flowers and to put him in the upper echelon of top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in this league. And if you're not doing that, you just want to stick to your narrative and you don't actually know football. So, Jalen Hurts definitely postseason player of the year.
One of the biggest narratives was, him being too conservative with the offense. The passing game not being, clicking at the moment. Jalen Hurts had 8 big-time throws in the postseason to 3 turnover-worthy plays. They threw that right out the window. That was fantastic. I'm up next. I'm going to go Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert led the team in receiving yards. He had 4 big-time plays, 53 yards a game, 215 yards, second in the team in receptions. I thought Dallas Goedert was absolutely vital in several big moments in this game, being that safety valve for Jalen against the blitz, as we all saw coming, and how Jalen Hurts would respond to the blitz in the playoffs was going to be massive. Dallas Goedert was amazing. It's going to be interesting to see what they do going forward, but I mean, the secret sauce for the Eagles offense, an offense that broke postseason record with 145 points, was dominating in 11 personnel. And a big reason for that was Dallas Goedert. So give me Dallas Goedert. Any other shout outs?
I mean, I just would love to say the whole offensive line. I mean,
who would you go? Jordan?
Probably Jordan. Slightly over Lane, but not by much.
Yeah. I was thinking about that one as well. The interior definitely had some of it, communication issues throughout the postseason in pass pro. But yeah, Jordan and Lane were terrific. Let's get to our next award, and that is Defensive Player of the Postseason. This one's ridiculous. Rob, lead us off.
Defensive player of the postseason. Jesus Christ. Everyone. No. Look, I'm going to stick with the guy I've stuck with all year. And like I said, it was not always on the stat sheet, but the Eagles were very close to losing the game to the Rams. Okay, they were very, very close to losing the game to the Rams.
Preach.
And it took one man stepping up and making 2 monster plays from a position that's not really known that much for making monster plays in defensive tackle, and that's Jalen Carter. And why I say not on the stat sheet, because you may not have seen him on the stat sheet a lot yesterday, but all those sacks of Mahomes come back to him taking on double teams, being held, headlocked, sleeper held, whatever the hell you want to call it, every single play, pushing the pocket and allowing these guys one-on-one matchups to go and flourish. Jalen Carter, okay, we've questioned it. He is the new Eagles Jerome Brown, and he is the new NFL Aaron Donald. And you will not get me to believe any different than that. He is a game wrecker. He is a bruiser. He's just different mentally. He's a psychopath. I mean, he just finds one guy on the other team and he just chirps all damn game. He punches people in the head, just to punch people in the head. I love everything about Jalen Carter. And because of that, he's the leader of that defense, and he's going to be for years to come. And I don't know how you can't, I have to give it to him.
Amen. Absolutely amen. And one of the most hilarious things ever was Jalen Carter, per PFF, had his worst defensive grade of the season against the Chiefs, 29.3.
Ridiculous.
That is so ridiculous. Ryan, who's your defensive player of the postseason?
I'm going to say Zach Bond.
Nice. That's what I was going to go with.
And yeah, mostly just, again, I think he has been such a leader to this team, and especially in the postseason, he's got a couple of picks, got a lot of pressures. He has been the absolute quarterback of that defense, and he has, helped with Oren Burks sliding in, for Dean. I think, you have somebody else in that role that maybe Burks doesn't kind of perform as adequately as he has been doing. So, yeah, I just think Zach Bond is, again, add Zach Bond to the list of insane free agent signings, with Saquon that, can't go underappreciated. Bond has been elite.
Yeah, Zach Bond, that interception, he's just a playmaker, straight up playmaker.
So
I've never seen anything like it ever.
Yeah.
At that position. That's a really good one. That's where I would have went as well. But the guy I'm going to go with, didn't do much on the box score yesterday, but all playoff long. Like I said this how many times on these shows, where would the D-line be without Nolan Smith being ridiculously elite? Like here's a play that doesn't really show up on the box score, but look at how hard he comes off the line of scrimmage.
Looks like the Green Bay play where he injured the guy.
Yeah, watch this. Jesus. Like, dude is amazing at setting the edge. Amazing rushing the quarterback. 4 sacks. I think he had like 4 pressures against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But plays like that, man, talk about setting the tone for a defense.
And by the way, big ups to Moro Ajomo.
Damn it, I was just about to say that.
I mean, here's a kid, 7th round pick, who just in the playoffs, he just always seemed to make a play or two in the game. Big ups, obviously, to Jalix Hunt. These young kids really, I mean, they're in the freaking Super Bowl. They their snaps have gone up as the season's going on, but they haven't really played a lot, and they're making huge plays in the backfield.
Yeah.
By the way, what they did to Jalix Hunt is wrong. He should have got a full sack. That's BS that they only gave him a half a sack. I'm pissed about it.
Now, listen, I think awesome. with the way the Moro Ajomo has been playing these last couple of weeks, I think it's going to lessen the burn that Milton Williams, leaving.
He's going to go get paid.
Yeah, he's obviously going to go get paid.
And so is having Sweat.
Moro, same. So I think having Moro Ajomo and potentially a young draftee to kind of replace the Milton Williams role, I think will sting a lot less than we realize.
Yep. Jalix Hunt had 5 pressures, 4 hurries, a tackle, and 2 run stops. And
not to mention, wasn't it him that forced that second interception by pushing Tooney into the leg of Mahomes as he released it?
Yeah, sure did.
I mean, he was absolutely battering that man. Battering.
All right, let's get to best coach of the postseason. Rob.
I'll give you guys all the other ones that you want. but I went with Jalen Hurts earlier. I told all your dumbasses out there, not you two, everybody else out there, I've kept receipts on all you JOs that were trying to fire him after the Browns game, to all you idiots trying to fire him after the Jacksonville game, that this guy is a winner. His team loves him. They respect him. They will go to war for him. Nick Sirianni, okay, this guy went through it this year. Yeah. He went through it. And you know what he did? He grew on top of all that. He grew. He knew when to show emotion, when not to show emotion. This guy, okay, is unbelievable. Okay, he's a hell of a lot better coach than Doug Peterson. I said it. Okay, I said it. Because Doug won, and when Doug won, he decided he was smarter than everybody else. Nick has consistently won, but has let other people say, hey, why don't we try this? Hey, why don't we do this? Hey, we should run the ball a little bit more. I know you want to pass, but I think we're a running team. And he's gone with it. When they said, hey, we want to hire Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore, might have gone against, maybe not Fangio, but Kellen Moore might have been a different, but you know what Nick said? He's like, hey, that's fine. And you know what? We're going to work together, and we're going to put an offense that works for us here. He's adaptable. He is loved by his players, and he's the type of coach for the new generation of NFL football player. Mm-hmm. You don't need the old Mike Ditka beat a guy into the ground or Jim Moore or those guys. This is the type of guy you need. He's going to be here now for a very long time. He's going to get a very nice contract extension this offseason. And damn it, I don't think anybody deserves it more. And I am on board with my Paisan brother, Nick Sirianni.
What about you, Ryan?
Shut up.
It's definitely Vic Fangio. This dude is a Philly guy coming back to coach in Philadelphia after all these years and wins a Super Bowl in his first year back. This dude can do no wrong, in my opinion. He has taken a group of men and transformed them into a solid unit that is a very complex defense. And it did take some time to, figure it out. It took some time to, work out the kinks. But he has absolutely this group playing like madmen for him. And I said it all day yesterday. Give this man a lifetime contract. Honestly, just a never-ending contract. You want to raise? Sure, whatever. We'll give it to you. You want to get paid whatever you want? Sure, whatever. Stay here as long as you want. Hopefully that's forever. So it's absolutely Vic, and it's a goddamn shame he did not win Coordinator of the Year.
It really is. It really is. Kind of want to go Kellen Moore, going the last 2 weeks, giving us the offense we were hoping we would see. I mean, how do you argue against the most points in a playoff ever? I mean, that's
95 points in the last 2 weeks.
Now, a big part of that was a lot of the defensive takeaways. But on the other end, I'll capitalize and say that's a big reason why they won the Super Bowl, was taking advantage of those turnovers and delivering in the red zone. They were just off the charts good. Let's go to our next one. Biggest surprise of the postseason, Ryan.
Biggest surprise of the postseason. I don't know.
I'll throw it out.
A lot of things that surprised me, because I was, as you know, Dives, we've done about 7 billion shows together. I have been extremely high on this team for the longest. So if I had to say a surprise, maybe I'll say Nolan Smith, kind of taking yet another step forward in the playoffs and becoming this, defensive edge, kind of stud before our very eyes. In his first real playoff minutes here, almost breaking the record for most sacks in a postseason, in one postseason, much less their career. So I did definitely, again, I knew he's been kind of on the slowest of rises, but man, he took a level jump in this postseason. That's for sure.
What about you, Rob?
So are we saying player or just storyline or what?
Whatever.
Look, there's plenty of players on this team that you could say were surprises, but I'm just going to go to last night. I expected them to win. I thought they would win by multiple scores, but to absolutely decimate the dynasty that was in the Kansas City Chiefs, to absolutely beat them in every aspect of the game from the jump, to have a fourth quarter in the Super Bowl that we got to sit back and just smile was the biggest shock to me. I thought they'd win. I thought they'd win by 2 scores, but I never thought that they would dominate that game from start to finish the way that they did. That to me was beyond impressive, and it just solidified this as the greatest Philadelphia sports champion in the history of the city. And I know I'm not that old, and I know that there people are going to tell me some of these older groups. No, I would put this group up against anybody. The only one were the 74, 75 Flyers, maybe that they would have. But this squad
83 Sixers
is, yeah, but I've heard a lot of people who followed the 83 Sixers say they didn't do what this team did when it came time for the championship.
No, I'm just saying that as an example of a team.
But to me, this team, what they did on Super Bowl Sunday night in Super Bowl 59 will be something that we will remember just as much as when the Eagles won their first one. Like, it's like this one doesn't lose any luster because of how they did it, and it was so damn impressive, and I'm so happy to be a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Well, listen, speaking of Crabby Oldman, we could ask him. He's been alive for, since 1933 when the Eagles were just being established. So he could tell us who the best champion in this city is.
Yes.
Biggest surprise, I could go Jake Elliott. Just what an up and down few weeks it's been.
Dead center.
Everything.
That guy was locked in more than I've seen him all
season. And not only that, his 50-yarder would have been good from 65. He booted the hell out of it.
Easily. And they made him re-kick 3 times, and he was like, I got this. Yeah. I need the extra practice.
After the first one where he just squeaked
a little bit, and then everyone was boom.
Extra point kick was dead center. And by the way, watching him, Braden Mann, who I thought was an intern for the team, and Britton Covey standing in their locker celebrating. I swear to God, I saw the one. I'm like, what the hell is the intern standing in a locker for? And then later on, I saw a picture. And it's like Jake Elliott and Braden Mann. I'm like, what? That man was our punter. I was like, oh man, that's crazy.
Good for him. Stay anonymous.
Biggest disappointment of the postseason. Is there anything you can think of? No. That's what's wild. Like,
how can there have been a disappointment?
How could there be
I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see Kenneth Gainwell get some more carries and maybe a touchdown last night.
Bryce Huff being a healthy scratch.
Yeah, that dude's never seen the field.
How he had the best offseason ever in maybe Eagles history.
And whiffed on that so bad.
And Bryce Huff isn't even playing.
How did they get rid of him?
The biggest disappointment was not seeing Nakobe Dean out there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
And I will say Oren Burks played really well.
He did, but
just from the standpoint, yeah.
Dives, we again, what Dean meant for all of us, and the fact that we have rooted so much harder for this kid to break free of that first year and the injuries and everything, and to finally see it come to fruition, finally have this breakout year, only for him to get injured late in the season and miss the playoffs. It was gut-wrenching. To see that was the only thing I would say is a disappointment is not seeing him out there. That or putting Big Dom in the game at some point in the fourth quarter.
Just because one of my favorite things that I saw last night, one of the best pictures tweeted out was a picture of a man standing in a locker, and it says Super Bowl champion James Bradbury. And there he is.
That was great.
Shirt, the hat, he's got the goggles on. I was like, wow, totally forgot you were there.
Right. Why? How
you were on the team.
Like nobody has talked about him in the media all year.
It was awesome. It was an awesome tweet that I think it was it DeBona? Was it Anthony DeBona? I think that tweeted it out. It was such a good tweet.
I think I saw it. DeCecco did it.
DeCecco. Yeah, it was such a good tweet. Such a good tweet.
Another Italian.
Biggest disappointment was the cameraman who completely whiffed on
the handshake.
Jeremiah Trott Jr. doing the axe.
That too.
Yes. This is the first time I'm seeing it.
You got it?
Yeah, it took me so long to find this. Anthony DM'd me this afternoon. Someone got it. I don't remember who.
Made the big hit.
Damn it, Sidney Brown. Get out the way.
But in game.
It was off to the left.
Yeah, you saw him start it, and then he just,
I 100% yelled, we just missed the X.
How about when the cameraman follows Nick Sirianni all the way in to go shake Andrew's hand, and he got knocked over, and we don't even see the coaches shake hands. I was like, what the hell? That's all I wanted to see.
Dude, yeah. Can we just say everything about this game was an A+ cameraman?
Yeah, absolutely. Best play of the postseason. Do you have a favorite play?
For me, personally, it was against the Rams. It was the Saquon Barkley 70-yard run where he just breaks it off. And he is there. It felt like there wasn't a player for a mile. And he's running. And again, I'm there freezing my ass off. He's running right towards me. And he's just smacking his head. You can feel the absolute emotion from that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, there was something about being in the stands and feeling that, and the fact that he was able to do that at the 35-yard line and just knew he was absolutely gone.
Yeah.
To me, outside of, some probably Super Bowl moments, but that to me was kind of like one of those special, man, this is a game I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think that I'm not going to pick this one, but I think the first play of the Commanders game, first offensive play,
that was awesome.
Started off that way.
That's a great one.
But I'm going to go back to a play we talked about earlier, just because you're up 10-0, and the team came back from you down 10 2 years ago. And you just sacked Mahomes twice. You just collapsed the pocket on him 2 plays in a row. So they roll him out, and nobody's open. And he knows he needs 16 yards, so he's just going to try and heave one down. And he never sees the fact that Coop is reading his eyes, and Coop just catches it. And it was almost like that Patrick Robinson pick in the conference title game back in 2017. And he was just off to the races. And then for him to score, and it was like, at the moment, because we're Eagles fans, we couldn't admit it, but it was at that moment that the game ended.
Yeah, 100%.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And it's just incredible that a 22-year-old kid gets his first ever INT against one of the best quarterbacks ever played a game and returns it for a pick 6 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was my favorite play. That entire sequence was lights out.
Wow.
I mean, that sequence of
that sequence
sacks the Coop.
And then they come back and they do it again on the next drive where they give up a first down or 2 and then sack Mahomes twice in a row again.
Yeah.
It was like, what the hell's going on?
Well, wasn't the Coop interception? No, never mind. I thought for some reason it was only like a play or two in between the Coop interception and the Zach Bond interception.
Oh, no.
So what happened was they punted, then the Eagles went 3 and out and punted and pinned them at like the 4-yard line. And then you got then he
intercepted it at like the 12 or something. But yeah, you might as well call Coop DeJean John Cena. because I think it's the whiteness of his complexion that Mahomes just couldn't see
Somebody
him.
sent me a picture and said Coop the Gene when he gets back to Philly, and it's that scene in Road Trip when the really nerdy white
that
guy
was
is
so
with
funny. I saw that.
the gigantic black woman who he takes her underwear, and they asked him if he killed a cheetah.
I saw that.
Yeah, I have seen about 100 different versions of that, and they're all just as funny.
Oh yeah.
All right. Most shocking play of the postseason. For me, I'll go Jahan Dotson.
He's Mr. Reliable for one great catch a game.
He showed up. He showed up.
Expect him to be there, and he ran a great route.
Did.
If you go back and watch the replay, he runs a tremendous route.
Jalen should have let him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Give me Jahan Dotson. Do you have any shocking plays that you can think of?
I think was there one in the Green Bay game? No.
Wait. What's the question again?
Most shocking play of the postseason.
Jordan Davis sacking Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that was a good one. I did not have that on my freaking bingo card.
That's a really good one.
The most shocking thing during the Super Bowl was seeing Serena Williams crip walking.
Oh my God.
During Not Like Us.
Winner of the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar, because he owned the government, he owned Drake, he owned everybody in a 15-minute performance. And having Samuel L. Jackson be Uncle Sam was maybe one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it yet. I still haven't watched it.
Oh yeah,
drop.
Dude, it was just so like they kind of teased him playing the song a little bit, and then they finally go into it.
Oh.
And they're starting to go into it. All of a sudden, you see fucking Serena Williams. She's just fucking like just
crip walking,
and she again. There's a little backstory because she got in trouble with doing that at like Wimbledon or some shit, whatever.
Well, it's that.
She's also Drake's ex.
Yes, that's where the key was, and he has a line in the song about her. And then she is crip walking as he's saying it. I was like, "What,
dude?" Like this, and I read the whole thing was like, it was again it was the American flag. It was like a PlayStation controller. So there was a thing that I read that it was. So I guess they highlighted the buttons or whatever on occasion, and if you go back and do the code. It's Grand Theft Auto, unlimited ammo, unlimited armor, and it basically was just saying like, "Dude, I'm untouchable now." Wow. That it was such a masterpiece of a performance.
Yeah, well done.
And I'm not even a big Kendrick fan, but man, he definitely.
I couldn't tell you one Kendrick Lamar song.
I couldn't either, but then I heard him as he's performing. I'm like, you know what? I know more than I thought, and I just didn't know the names.
All the stars. You've seen Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard a song, but I don't know. I don't like. I literally have never like YouTubed Kendrick Lamar.
Right. When he hit the A minor line.
Yeah, dude, the whole crowd. Dude, the whole crowd was
lost.
Dude, it was awesome.
He cut out. He did not use the word
pedophile,
but he used A minor.
And then when he said Drake, and then he turned to the camera, he just like smiled. I was like, damn, I didn't think he was going to say that either.
Yeah. I don't
listen. For halftime performances, I still think it was a pretty darn good one. Certainly not in my top 5, but it was really good. It was really good.
Yes,
it was well done, and especially for an artist that I think may not have. Well, let's just say he has a very specific demographic.
Yeah.
Which is not any
afraid
of our
to speak his mind, and he's not
not
afraid
any
to
of our
speak his mind.
complexions, but still, and you're further proving that, but still, I thought he did a really good job.
I don't listen to like modern hip hop or modern rap.
He's about the only guy I could.
Yeah, exactly. Same. He's about the only guy.
He's about the only guy I could because he's got a lot of the old school guys. So I can appreciate him, and I love that he's willing to speak his mind and not be afraid of it. I'm always a big fan of that.
1,000%.
I still to this day listen to 90s music, and that's my go to.
So
All right.
okay, so let's get to the real thing here. Is where are we meeting at the parade? No, seriously, I don't want to hear no BS. I don't want to hear none of this.
I don't think
I don't
I
wanna
have
hear
off,
it.
dude.
Let the kids. F the kids.
No, it's not even my kids.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
care about
working,
my
man.
kids.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. I know.
So
I know.
here's where
teachers.
I'm at. Ready for like this is where I'm at right now. And I was talking to my buddy who works at the school I'm at. The teachers have an in-service that day because it's President's Day weekend, right? So we're supposed to be in. But the last in-service was like my first week, and I asked if I had to be there, and the principal had said yes. But then I talked to the head of the English department, and she was like, I don't really think you need to be here. Like, there's not much for you to do. I was like, oh, okay. So here's my play. I'm going to let this week play out because if there's a snow day this week, the kids are going to be coming in, and I have to be there. Right. But if the kids aren't there, I may go to the head of the English department on Thursday and be like, listen, do I really need to be here for this in-service? Because I'm going to be very honest with you. If it's pointless, I would rather just go to the parade.
Right.
And if I do, then Ryan, I will text you.
Okay.
And we can meet in person for the first time and embrace, big guy. We could have a big embrace. And we'll film it. We'll have someone film us running into each other's arms and with the big first embrace of Ryan and Rob.
There you go.
Disagree to agree.
And then, we'll cut to the promo. Disagree to agree.
And we should film an episode standing together.
Let's do it. We're 100% in. Dodge, what say you?
It's also an in-service day for me, and I'm in a required training. No, in-service is not. There's no way. To be fair, my honest thoughts on it, I went to the last one. I was in the freezing cold for hours and hours. I did it. I loved it. It was amazing. I'm going to watch this one on TV.
Do you just a random question. Do you still feel the cold from that day?
Yes.
No, you don't. The answer is no, you don't.
I didn't feel the cold that day.
No, I didn't.
That was one of the coldest days of the year, man. That was wild.
What? I was at the snow game a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember any of the cold. I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember any of the game.
That's not true. I remember celebrating quite a bit.
Before the game?
Okay, listen. Before the game, there might be some pockets, but I always make sure I don't ever drink during the game.
By the way, Zach Bourne called his pick. Apparently, the drive before his pick, he sat on the sideline.
Like, I'm gonna get one.
I'm gonna get one.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
You know, I didn't drink once during the playoffs, and here's why: the first playoff game, I didn't drink. And I was like, all right, second playoff game, I was by myself again. I didn't drink. So now I'm like, I don't think I could drink in the playoffs. So I didn't drink for the conference title game. So then drank after, had champagne after. So the Super Bowl, I'm like, there's no way I'm blaming myself for the Eagles losing the Super Bowl. I am not going to have a drink. So, and then, of course, when I popped the champagne bottle at the end of the game, I ended up emptying most of it on me. And I barely got any to drink. So it was very disappointing.
Well, I did the opposite. I drank heavily. I drank heavily before the game.
Drinking since the playoffs began.
Yes, I haven't stopped.
Yeah, it might be time for a detox.
But I was there in my same getup for every single game, and I had the same thing where I stopped drinking about an hour before the game, start cleaning up, and then I don't drink at all during the game.
My routine
is like 5 hours before I have to drive home, or plenty to sober up.
Because I'm always doing halftime and post game. My routine and what's worked for me is I don't drink until the second half, so it kind of keeps me like even.
Okay.
Anyway,
hey, real quick,
guys. When do we start talking Sixers? I just want to know.
Never. They suck. We're Super Bowl friggin' champions, guys.
It's amazing.
Super Bowl freaking champions.
It doesn't feel real.
This guy right here is the MVP. This guy right here is the greatest free agent signing in Eagles history.
When does it?
Two time. When does it
start sinking in? Because I I
It
don't.
hasn't really. For me either.
I am legit still confused.
It started
don't-
sinking in for me. I was driving in my car earlier today, and I was taking my son to his mom's, and and I put on, like, being goofy with him, because we were talking about the Eagles. I put on Blow the Whistle, and I started, like, and we were dancing in the car, and then I played Kendrick, and, like, as I'm driving home by myself, I'm like, holy shit, they did it.
Yeah.
Like it hit me, like I could feel, because last night I feel like they had such a big lead that the emotion part never really sunk in. But as I was driving home today, I felt it, like, kind of like enter my body.
It didn't hit.
You know what's really weird? You know what's really weird? The most emotional I was, for some reason, I was very calm all Sunday, and I don't know why. But the most emotional I was, Bradley Cooper's introduction.
Dude, I was hype as hell.
The
whole crowd.
I didn't realize that was the kid who we gave the tickets to either. I didn't realize that was who that was.
That got me. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
And then after that,
he gave that kid and his family a bunch of tickets because he's sick. He's very sick, and all he wanted to do was go to the Super Bowl. And Bradley Cooper bought him and his family tickets and then brought him on the field for that moment.
Yeah, that part got me. After that, it was just a roll.
Ryan just went to cry. He didn't want to be on camera for it, so he shut it down.
It was just a fun Super Bowl, man. It was weird. It was whereas, like, the last Super Bowl, of course, that they won, I was on the ground crying like a baby.
Oh yeah, so was I. I mean, I will say I got emotional once thinking about my buddy who just passed, who was a huge Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Just thinking about, he passed away right after the NFC Championship. So, like, that was a moment for me. But other than that, it's just, I was just happy, but it really didn't hit me until I was driving home from work today. It was the first time. And then when I had my son in the car and I'm playing Blow Your Whistle and I'm, dancing with him, and that was like, a good moment. That was a good moment.
How cooked are we in?
We got Howie, man. We got the Wizard. Nobody's cooked.
They'll figure it out.
We got the Wizard. Just get me Bond, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you have the best cap guru in football.
A lot of people think that after they lose Sweat and Graham, that he'll sign an aging veteran who could still play a little bit on end. A Von Miller type. If you can get him cheap enough, something like that would be interesting. Did Ryan just leave?
I don't know. He's still here. He's muted though. And weirdly, like, with Josh Sweat and Milton Williams playing their asses off in the Super Bowl, maybe they get a big contract each and give us like a couple third round, like, complementary picks or something like that.
Well, it's fine. I plan on trading about 6 picks to bring Myles Garrett over here. But
absolutely not. Yeah, it would be fun, but at the end of the day, I think they should keep doing what they're doing because it's working.
Someone did tweet out. It was funny. It was like 10 minutes after the game ended, and someone tweeted out, "Super Bowl champs, now go trade for Myles Garrett and let's get ignorant." I was like, "Yeah, let's get ignorant." I like it.
I love it.
Slay seems to think he's not coming back. He's been saying that.
I don't know. There was a report that he said he's going to try one more year.
But he said he doesn't think it's going to be here.
Yeah,
he doesn't think it's going to be here. He thinks that they may move on because now they have Rodgers and Ringo and DeJean and Mitchell. It's a time to just turn the guard over. But hey, if it is, Darius Slay, man, listen, he's a guy that takes a lot of heat in this town. He was tremendous for that team this year. He was tremendous for that team. And I'm thrilled that at the end of his career, just like with Brandon, he gets himself his first Super Bowl. I'm very, very happy for a guy like that.
Yeah. He they have an out of that contract, so if he's coming back, they would have to restructure that contract. Isaiah Rodgers, awesome. I would bring him back. Great depth piece. Be interesting to see what they got with Keeley and guys like that next year. But my goodness. What would you guys do with Coop? Would you keep him in the slot?
Keeping him in the slot, man.
I am all about keeping him in the slot and going.
I think he could become the best. I think he could become the best slot corner in the league.
He already is.
He might already be. Yeah.
And the reason I want to keep him there is because I love him on the short passes at the line of scrimmage. His attacking speed to make those tackles. I haven't seen that from somebody in an Eagles uniform from that position.
Yeah, he's elite at what he does. Maybe they'll try it out in the preseason, but at the end of the day, like put him in the best spot for him to succeed, and that is, he can be a linebacker against the run. He can drop back in coverage, be a playmaker, great tackler. Man, he is just awesome.
Exciting
All right,
whites, baby.
Let's wrap it up. Ryan, final thoughts on the Super Bowl. We'll have to figure out what we're doing here programming wise going forward. We could always talk draft and stuff.
I know it was coming.
We'll figure it out.
Listen, I said it in the beginning of the show when Rob was having technical difficulties.
I don't believe it happened.
But I'm on my revenge tour. I am dead set on getting apologies from everybody who doubted this team, especially Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this offseason. But also, you can check me here, Party on Broad. Of course, the world famous Disagree to Agree with Rob and myself. Says please stay tuned for the next episode of that. I've already been getting countless DMs.
I swear to God, if we meet at the parade, that's when we're filming the next episode. I'm not even joking to you.
But yeah,
I constantly random drunk
when
people.
When are you guys putting out your next one?
We'll interview the random drunk people at the parade. We'll just interview random drunk people, and then we'll disagree to agree on if they made any coherent sense whatsoever.
I'm so down for that. I'm so down for this. So yes, we need to do that. But you can also check me on the Eagles Pin Pull Network. I am there when I'm not here. They have me locked in a cage. It's pretty much all I do is I just do podcasts all week. But Tuesdays, Birds of the Round Table. Wednesday, Football Smack Talk Show. So check that out. Dibes and I'm sure will be planning. Now that the Eagles season is finally over, we can now refocus.
Free agency tampering window 1 month away.
Yeah. We can focus on full-time draft content.
Combine 2 weeks away.
Is way ahead of me at this point, but I'll catch up. And other than that, you can find me at the frickin' parade on Friday. After them kids and the in-service days, I'm gonna be there. I hope to see you all there. And if you're gonna be down there, you come find me. And who knows, maybe you'll be in the next episode of Disagree to Agree as one of these aforementioned incoherent drunk people.
You can find me wearing the F them kids shirt at the parade, because that's what I'll be wearing. F them.
Random Super Bowl parade story. When we were right at the art museum where it was like the water fountain was, and for some reason there was like a slope in that area, and about 10 feet away, there were some kids that were heavily medicated, and one of them threw up and hits the ground. And because of the slope, you know how packed it was, right?
Yeah.
The throw up starts to go down the slope, and everyone just like a mob was like running away from the throw up. It was insane.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Rob. Final thoughts.
Okay. Listen, a little sappiness, but last time that the Eagles won, I was doing a podcast solo. I was doing a 90-minute show once a week by myself, just talking, playing clips, whatever it was, and it was enjoyable. But I got to tell you, you two especially, having you two to come on here with every week to talk about this team, to banter, to have fun, made this season even that much more enjoyable to have this platform. Dibes, I got to thank you first. I mean, we go back now a few years now. We go back across what seems to be 13 different companies over the last 5 years. But we were introduced years ago, back in the old school days of the painted lines.
Oh, yeah.
And since then, we've butted a really cool podcast friendship, as we've only been in each other's presence once. So it's been a true podcast, Brett. And then Rye, me and you just kind of fit super seamlessly, almost instantaneously. And I just, I want to thank you guys. I've had a blast this year. I hope that I can hop on other shows, not just Party on Broad with you guys. I'm going to try and do some draft stuff this year, so I don't sound like a complete moron.
Shit. Oh,
maybe try and watch a couple videos here and there. I don't know. Who the hell knows? But I want to, I want to keep growing this thing. We got something really building here, I think, with Party on Broad, and then Disagree to Agree, and then I just want to, keep working with you guys because it's a blast, man. It's a good reprieve from my daily grind. This is a good little break from it. So I want to thank you guys. As far as me, you catch me Philly_madness, although I could be taking a Twitter break for a little bit. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to be here. You'll see me on these shows, and I can't wait to talk about Joel Embiid and Paul George next week on the first edition of Party on Broad Sixers Vision coming up next week.
Spoiler warning. Now that the Eagles season is over, I am not doing Sixers coverage going forward. I'm going to stick to the draft.
Let's go.
I'll probably honestly go into college basketball.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little college basketball, but then I'm going to become the free agent frenzy guru of this show. I'm going to become the Adam Schefter of Party on Broad. I'm going to get sources and shit, and I'm just going to start making phone calls. And you know what I think you got to do to become an insider is you just got to make up some shit. And once one of them hits, you just ride it and be like, yep, I told you, I knew it. I had my sources. And then all of a sudden the sources start coming out of the woodwork. Because
no, I want to be a source to hit this guy. Yeah, I get it.
That's what's going to happen.
Is that you, Ben Posh? I don't know.
Yeah, but he never actually had a source. I'm going to get one.
No, that was one of the most amazing.
It was the greatest bit of all time.
Awesome. Like people from like 97.5 The Fanatic and stuff were messaging me.
Yeah.
To see if this guy's real or not.
I knew he wasn't.
I know Ben. I actually know Ben. I actually met him more times than I met you guys.
Oh, I talked to him a few times. But the funniest thing about Vin was I knew it was BS, but I still couldn't wait to see what he was like there was actually merit behind it. Like I was like, oh my God, what's he saying now? Oh God, it was great. It was
so
great.
fun. So funny.
Listen, gentlemen, we had a fantastic season. I wish you both didn't live probably equal distance, but one's on this side of me, one's on this side.
Why don't you guys move closer to Jersey? Just
gross.
I said closer. I didn't say it to be in Jersey.
Yeah, said no one ever.
Well, you tell him first, okay? He's the furthest one away.
Yeah, that guy.
I know, right? He's like, I want to be in fucking Pittsburgh.
I'm waiting for him to have his Amish beard and start wearing the hat and driving a horse and carriage. Aren't you out there in Amish country?
Well, listen,
I literally am. Yeah.
We could just make it an annual event.
Go to see Dutch Wonderland or something.
I live right next to Dutch Wonderland. Yeah.
Oh wow,
that makes it that much better. I made that joke.
That is really funny.
Right there.
Well, listen. We'll have to go to a game each year. We'll have to go do the Beer Olympics each year.
Let's go to some Phils games this year.
And we'll go to some Phils games. All right.
That's absolutely a must.
We could start doing Phillies coverage since we can't do the Sixers.
I'm just saying, people like the Phillies better than the Sixers.
I'm pissed off at the Phillies right now too.
I can't. I have a. Yeah. It's hard for me to get serious about baseball until like July-ish. Yeah. Like I honestly.
Well, then let us carry you the way.
I'm so irritated with that team right now. So it would be fun. It would be fun podcasting.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen. That honestly, but before I say anything else as well, the people in the comments, YouTube guys, Twitter, Facebook, whomever pops in, but you guys know who you are. You absolutely make our show what it is. The back and forth, the comments, like the inside jokes, like all of it is it has a life of its own, and I absolutely love it. And I know I speak for the other two when I say you guys are absolutely the lifeblood of this whole thing. So we appreciate y'all, and Go frickin' Birds.
Yep.
Go friggin' Birds.
Crazy, man. It's wild to think where we would be without the Eagles. The Sixers would be getting killed right now. I don't want to talk about Sixers, but my God, like death by 1,000 cuts this season. This is the first chat room I've ever been a part of. Appreciate you, Krabby. We have tons and tons of content coming up for sure.
Yes, sir.
Free agency, NFL draft, NBA draft. Be on the lookout for tons of. All the daily shorts, tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. I dropped 2 highlight reels today. I dropped a Nick Wright video today. So yeah, we're always putting stuff out. And then tomorrow night, Birds of the Round Table, 8:00. We'll be talking more Super Bowl. Are we doing armchair scouts tomorrow, Ryan?
No idea.
No idea. All right, me too. All right, so
I would assume we take another week and then full force into the draft.
where's Tiago? Tiago, my man.
Oh wow.
Tiago, was that?
I don't even want to know Tiago's feelings right now.
Yeah, I can't even. Tiago is an amazing Sixers follow. If you
He
don't
really
know,
is.
he's one of my closest friends here, and he started his own website that he writes and does an amazing job with. But that guy is so busy with work, like it's hard for him to do anything.
He's
else.
unbelievable, man. Tiago was always a blast to do shows with. I used to love
Absolutely the
doing
best.
shows with Tiago.
Yep. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up. Thank you everyone for watching. This is the longest party on Broad in probably like years.
Ever. I was like, oh great, this is awesome. We'll be done at 8. I'll be able to go out to bed, put the kid to bed. It'll be great. Nah, it's freaking like 10
and now
o'clock.
I'm wide awake. I was exhausted all day. Now I'm wide awake. I'm going to watch TV.
Yeah, 100%. I was dead to the world. I got woken up by these two freaking chatty Cathy's texting each other. And meanwhile, I had been in bed for about 2 hours at that time. And all I wanted to do was them to shut the hell up.
Just want to tell you why Eagles fans are great. Super Bowl projections say record 126 million in U.S. watched across TV and streaming platforms.
Wow.
126 million watched a blowout. Good for us.
I assume that's a record.
It's amazing.
It did say record, so I would say
Truly
yes, it's a
special.
record.
Truly special season, guys. Like Ryan said, thank you to everyone in the comments. We're going to be doing a lot of off-season content, so be on the lookout for that. Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. Rob Langy at Philly_Menace. I am Daz, Mr. Crockpot. Super Bowl champions for Ryan, for Rob, for myself. Stay awesome, everyone.